Ah, have you come to fetch me for your master? Death Screech Irontail, Argos the God's Chosen, and Zarthan Spitforge. Yes, White Wolf, you will follow our master, or you will die. Choose. Mighty fine champions your master has, Skaven. I'm surprised to see you among them. We have no time for petty insults and games, White Wolf. You will come with us. I will indeed, Irontail. I have waited many years for the true Everchosen to show his face. My Lord Khorne has shown me. I merely had to wait. Do you know why I created the Chaos Vikings? To satiate your bloodlust, White Wolf. We have heard many a story of your bloody campaigns, ripping through the world. You are not wrong, but that was not the only purpose they served. You see, champions of Dar'kun, I used to be simply one of Khorne's chosen. I fought directly under the service of Archaon, the current Everchosen. We fought many a bloody battle against the Kislevites and the Dogs of Sigmar. I fancied I had brought the blood god more skulls than the legendary Scarbrand himself. Shortly after a bloody battle against the Empire, my Lord Khorne gave me a vision. He showed an unknown chosen leading many forces of chaos. At his side there were Skaven, Beastmen, Chaos Dwarves, and many Chaos Warriors and Champions. The blood god spoke to me. He said, White Wolf, you will serve this man seen in this vision, for he is the new Everchosen. The gods have chosen him to be the champion of chaos, bringer of the Endtimes. You will serve him as one of my chosen. Do not fail me. Then the vision ended, and I knew what I had to do. I created the Chaos Vikings in order to find this new Everchosen. Whoever was strong and smart enough to subdue them, I would surely follow. It was no easy task making them submit. They are battle-hardened and lust for blood. However, they pale in strength compared to my master and the armies he will command. Indeed, they do chosen. I knew that if we became famous enough, someone would seek out our power. Archaon was too busy fiddling with weak Kislevites in the Empire to pay attention to me. His mistake. I missed the campaigns we went on. We cut a path of destruction from the lands of Bretonnia all the way to those pointy-eared, stuck-up, arrow-shooting elven bat. Anyway, I will join you, champions of Dar'kun. Then let us make haste. Our lord is gathering his army at the Skaven stronghold of Sartosa. We seek to take it and start our new chaotic empire. Let me gather my men chosen. The Khorne Chaos Vikings. They thirst for battle and seek far more than death. I will meet you at Sartosa. Go. Tell your master that your task is done. What's up, guys? My name is 50 Levels Up, and welcome to Warsword Conquest Dungeons. Now, before I start this, I just want to say that this video is not the beginning of the series. That's going to be the next video. However, this video explains the rules and the lore behind the series, and it connects everything from all my past videos. So if you've never seen any of my Warsword Conquest videos, you should watch this video. Even if you have seen my Warsword Conquest videos, you should watch this video because I'm retconning some things, I'm changing some things up, and along with some of the things that our main character Dar'kun can and cannot do. So without further ado, I'm going to explain the backstory of our character Dar'kun. So Dar'kun is pretty much a chaos warrior who has risen to fame and power during his time in the New World. Would this be the Old World in Warhammer? Not sure. But now he's regarded by the chaos gods as the new Everchosen, because not only does he gain the following of chaos warriors and chaos champions, but also Skaven, beastmen, chaos dwarves, and everything under chaos except dark elves, because Dar'kun hates elves. And so pretty much all my Warsword Conquest videos beforehand has just been him building up power and fame in order to rise to his new title. And now he has a even newer title. He is regarded as the Herald of the Endtimes, which I'll get into momentarily. But this is where we are now, where Dar'kun is regarded to as the Herald of the Endtimes. Now, the thing is that Warsword Conquest is updated so many different times, and every update I have to literally start a new save, and we've done that like 2 or 3 times, and honestly I stopped playing it because it started pissing me off because the mod was practically unstable and there's a lot of things I couldn't do. So now this new Warsword Conquest Dungeons is very stable. Absolutely love it. So we have a new Dar'kun here with a new story. So everything for the most part is the same in the story, roughly until about Dar'kun's rise to power and creating the chaotic empire. So in this moment we're creating the chaotic empire. So in that cutscene Yeah, that's the cutscene. Pretty much, as you guys saw a few minutes ago, was about WULFRIC, the White Wolf, who is the creator of the Chaos Vikings, one of the groups that's under the control of Dar'kun, and some of his absolutely best troops for sure. And so WULFRIC has rallied to Dar'kun's side, and WULFRIC's also a part of a set of rules that I'm gonna tell you guys about in a second. He's gathered the Dar'kun's side, and now he's here, or he's going to be here with him at Sartosa. I just have to finish setting everything up for the series to take Sartosa. And so the reason why we're going after Sartosa, all this stuff will be explained in the rules and everything, but pretty much if you've seen my Warsword Conquest videos before and you're all caught up with that, pretty much the whole going back in time thing with Death Screech, Zarthan, and Arcos, that is gone. What Dar'kun did instead is that he just sent them out as he was gathering his forces to move on to Sartosa, and they ended up finding WULFRIC, the White Wolf. But Arcos had already subdued the Chaos Vikings for Dar'kun, trying to find him more forces to join him anyway. So everything about me going back in time, the War of the Everchosen, all that, retcon, none of that. We're having none of that. This is a new beginning. So pretty much Dar'kun has risen to power. He is now regarded by the Chaos Gods as the Herald of the Endtimes. And now he's making his move on the world by attacking Sartosa and building his power base. That's pretty much what we got for Dar'kun. So in this series, for lore reasons and, you know, for fun, we have quite a bit of rules here, and they're all promptly named by various things. So I'm going to go over those for a second because they're very important, and you'll understand. Because of these rules, I'm going to be playing certain ways. Well, for the most part, I'm going to play Mount & Blade the same. But with some of these rules, I'm going to be playing slightly different than anybody would normally do, or normally would. So the first rule is Herald of the Endtimes, which is Dar'kun is going to be Dar'kun's new title once he conquers Sartosa. So pretty much he's known throughout the world. And the reason pretty much all that does for me is that it allows me to give Dar'kun an insane amount of renown so that he can have a bigger army, because without a big army, I'm not finna be able to do this, because the character itself is only like level 28. He's not quite strong enough for that, but it also gives him a right to rule. But since he is the Herald of the Endtimes, he also can't create his own faction. And so the next one is Death to the Pointy Ears, because Dar'kun really hates elves. He must always be at war with the High Elves and the Wood Elves, but the Dark Elves are an exception because some of them do worship the Chaos Gods like Khorne. And so the next rule is Chaos from Chaos. Dar'kun can only start a faction by attacking a Chaos faction. A Chaos faction would just be Skaven, Beastmen, actual Chaos, or a Chaos Dwarves, pretty much. So he can only attack them if he wanted to start a kingdom. So on the rare chance that we failed the siege of Sartosa, we'd have to attack any one of those in order to start our faction, which is going to be called the Chaotic Empire. And then there's another rule. It's called Off My Dead Corpse, and it's pretty much Dar'kun can get special items that are usually not accessible, like regularly in the game, after defeating certain faction leaders and taking their cities. So Archaon has a special armor called the Armor of Midnight, which is not available in this game, and I think he has like an Everchosen helmet or something like that. And Dar'kun could get that if we were to pretty much defeat Archaon like entirely. So that's just something kind of cool, because some of these guys have some really awesome weapons and armor that we could get, or that we can only get technically off of their corpse, but they're not available through the game normally. And so also when it comes to companions, I can only recruit custom companions, but you guys can create custom companions. There used to be a few more custom companions back in the other series, but I was just like, I'm gonna keep the three main ones, which are Death Screech, Irontail, Zarthan, Spitforge, and Arcos the God Chosen, which were created by Arcos was created by Shadow King, whose name I think changed. Death Screech was created by Death Screech, whose name I think changed, and Zarthan was created by Orange Steve, whose name I also think changed. But everybody else, you can create a custom companion. However, you can only create companions from Chaos races, and please do give them a backstory, because that's also important, because, you know, lore reasons. And you can create a custom companion from any of the other races, like humans and elves and dark elves and things and dwarves, but I'll only do that if you give me a good enough backstory for them to follow Dar'kun, if you get what I mean. And then next, what other rules we got? This is a lot of rules for this series. Next, we have the Generals of Chaos. So with Dar'kun being the Herald of the End Times, the Chaos Gods have pretty much chosen very specific champions to help him, you know, herald in the End Times. And so because of that, he cannot recruit any lords from any factions, because, you know, if you play Mount Blade and you play Mount Blade pretty much, and lords defect you eventually, pretty much. They leave their lords and they defect to you because you're a new faction, you have new lands, things like that. Dar'kun can't recruit any of them. He can only recruit the Generals of Chaos, who are also known as the Champions of the End Times. Not only that, he can only recruit 7 of them. And on top of that, he needs 1 from each of the Chaos races. So he needs 1 Norskin Chaos guy, a Chaos Dwarf, a Beastman, and Skaven, and then the other 3 can be like whatever mix from the Chaos races. So WULFRIC the White Wolf is a champion of the End Times, and so in order to get one of these generals of Chaos, I have to pretty much pay out 100k, and so it increases for each one I recruit. So the second General of Chaos will be 200k, the third one will be 300k, pretty much. And so the reason why I have to pay so much for them is because I'm also going to make them incredibly overpowered. Because if you ever cheat in Mount Blade after like level 63, if you level up one more time, you can go to like level 2000 something, and pretty much after that you create a really it's a double-edged sword, because the AI thinks it can beat everything, but it can beat things that would normally lose to, and they pretty much have max stats and everything, but I can only get 7 of them, and they're overpowered, but not that overpowered, if that makes any sense. So for each General of Chaos, they're gonna cost 100k, or the first one's gonna cost 100k, which is gonna be WULFRIC, but he's not free, so we gotta earn that 100k. And then the next one, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700 as we go. And then the last rule in this series are Regiments of Renown, which I've already created a few. Pretty much Regiments of Renown are just like if you played Total War Warhammer, pretty much Regiments of Renown, Dar'kun has those. And so each regiment, or each General of Chaos, and some companions get a Regiment of Renown. So Zarthan, Arcos, and Deathscreech all have regiments of Renown. So Arcos has Arcos' Chosen, Zarthan has the Guardians of the Legacy of Asgore, and Deathscreech has the Iron Tails. And so each regiment costs 10k times the level of their troop, and there's 4 tiers of troops, and lowest level a Regiment of Renown troop can be is 45, the highest is 80, and so the higher level they are, the less I can recruit and the more that they cost. So Dar'kun's Chosen, which is his Regiment of Renown, personal bodyguard, royal guard type, are level 80, but I can only recruit 5, but they're ridiculously strong. Like they're insanely strong. Sadly, because I don't know how to mod though, some of these guys are going to be present throughout the world, but it's okay because there's not going to be that many, so they're not going to be like game changers or anything, unless like they create like a Chaos Horde that has a bunch of them in it. Then that freaking suck. WULFRIC the White Wolf, his Regiment of Renown are the Coordinate Chaos Vikings, Arcos is Chosen, and then like I said, Deathscreech's Iron Tails, and Zarthan, Guardians of the Legacy of Asgore. And so for rules, that's actually it. And so also for the Generals of Chaos, you guys can also create Generals of Chaos, but if I happen to want to recruit one but nobody is said, hey, I want to claim this, like I want to make a General of Chaos, then I'll just make one by myself. So that's all. That's all the rules of the series. That's all the background of Dar'kun. I'm excited to play Warsword Conquest again, although I do hope that this gets views. Otherwise, I'm doing all this for minimum reason. And that's about it actually. So if you guys enjoyed this episode and my little cinematic in the beginning, I put a decent amount of work into that. I put it, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you have a blessed day and know that Jesus loves you. And I'll see you guys later.